experimental approach to China's integration into the global economy. And that has a number of features that we've discussed in the research about, involving the importance of institutional innovation, the need to improve government services to match the demands and the changing demands of the international economy, standard setting, data collection, etc., which are a very important part of that experience. A focus on industrial transformation and the upgrading of industrial structures, including into new sectors, smarter sectors, greener sectors, which are on the frontier of the new manufacturing challenges in the global economy. So that notion of industrial transformation is, we think, very central to the success of the free trade zone experiment. And also, I think it's important to recognize that the free trade zones have been part of a wider strategy that China has of integrating with the global economy and opening up. It's the experience of the Belt and Road Initiative, of course, which is a central part of that strategy, the growing importance of South-South cooperation, in which China is a leading player, and the evolving nature of free trade agreements worldwide have all been part of the overall context in which free trade zone, the free trade zone has been developed and evolved, as well as the regional specificities of China. There are 21 free trade zones, of which there are common features, but also particular differences that are tailored to local specificities, and the report that we've produced tries to take a look at those specificities as well. In terms of the operation of the free trade zone, we identify over 3,000 policy measures that have been experimented with in the context of the free trade zone, a number of which have been then taken from the free trade zone to the national level as part of China's broader catching up strategy. And as I said, within that context, the importance of industrial transformation in line with planning priorities, in line with the needs of the enabling environment in terms of financial needs and technological needs, skill development, research and development, are identified within the research that we have done. And we do see that the FTZs has played a central role in sustaining the rapid growth of foreign direct investment inflows in both goods and services, and has contributed significantly when we look at the role of FTZs in the wider China context, significantly to the attraction of foreign direct investment and to the enhancement of China's position as a leading trading nation in the global economy. And as I said, we also look, because it's a very important aspect for an organization like UNCTAD, the role of the FTZs in enhancing South-South cooperation. And South-South trade and foreign direct investment flows have been a growing part of the global economy. Indeed, South-South trade and FDI flows have, in many respects, grown more quickly than the average for the global economy over the course of the last decade or two. So it's a growing part of the workings of the international economy and the governance challenges that poses for any country. And we see that in the case of the ASEAN developments. We see that, of course, with respect to the Belt and Road, RCEP, and other developments that have a very strong South-South component. And a lot of the work that we have done with MOFCOM in the past has been about sharing experiences from those developments with other developing countries. I think it's very important to recognize that developing countries now have a wealth of policy experience to draw upon. Developing countries don't have to listen to the World Bank or the OECD or other Western institutions for understanding the policy challenges they face. They can turn to and talk with and engage with other developing countries. And that's, I think, a very important lesson from the FTZ experience. In terms of the research, we took a couple of case studies from the 10-year experience. We looked at the Lingang special area of Shanghai, which has a particular focus on artificial intelligence, which is clearly a cutting edge of 21st century manufacturing. And so we took a special look at that. And we also looked in particular at the economic cooperation with the ASEAN free trade zone and the way in which trade and FDI and industrial cooperation have led to the enhancement of that experience. Just in terms of broad conclusions and future research, I mean, we do see the FTZ experience as one of having strong, impactful consequences in terms of not only China's own experience, but beyond that, in terms of the lessons that can be taken for development strategies in other developing countries. And I think we try and look for some important lessons in the research we do and in that experience. And also just to see how the FTZ experience has differed from earlier experiences with free trade zones, special economic zones and industrial hubs and parks, which have also been tried in other parts of the developing world, not always very successfully, it has to be said. I mean, there are lessons to be drawn from failures as well as success stories, and I think it's very important to see how the Shanghai FTZ also stacks up against some of these early experiences, and that's what we've tried a little bit to do in the report. And it's a gateway in some sense, I think. It's not the end of the work that we hope to do with MOFCOM. It's very much a gateway into further research, trying to develop some of the ideas that we presented in this report, extending the data analysis that we've done, adding to the detailed case studies that we present in this research, and looking in more detail at specific zone experiences. So it's not the end of the research, it's very much the beginning of the process. And as many things from the United Nations, it's a public good. You can download this research for free on the UNCTAD website. For those that are interested, we would encourage you to take a look and examine the work that we've done in greater detail, and when you have the time to do that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Richard Kozel-Wright, for the excellent sharing and the insights and also the launch of the research report. This is the first report on China's pilot free trade zone by the international organization. I would also like to thank UNCTAD. Then I would like to invite President of the CITEC of the Ministry of Commerce, Gu Xuefeng, to launch a report on development of China's pilot free trade zones. Welcome. Distinguished Vice Minister Guo Tingting, distinguished Secretary of CPC Zhu Zhisong, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am very glad to participate in Invest in China Year special promotional event in pilot free trade zones, and I am very honored to represent the Ministry of Commerce's Research Center to launch this report on development of China's pilot free trade zones 2013 to 2023. When we look back to 2013, the President Xi Jinping proposed the concept to build a free trade pilot zone. It feels right in front of us, and with a blink of eye, 10 years has passed, and with 10 years of exploration, we can better know the results and share all the ideas. We have experienced and understood all the achievements in our 10-year exploration journey. So today we're displaying this report to you all that has written all the hard work that we have experienced in the past 10 years for the free trade pilot zone. Ever since 2019, this is the free trade pilot zone development report that our school has been released for 5 years. But this report is the first time that we recap the journey that we have been through in the past 10 years. The report consists of 2 main chapters. One is about the comprehensive development chapter. So we could say that the free trade development zone, ever since its first day, it has undertaken the grand mission of reform, opening up, development, and serving national strategy. Over the past 10 years, the free trade pilot zone has borne in mind President Xi Jinping's concern. They like to make a bold exploration and take the initiative in implementing the negative-based list management mode to allow the foreign investors access. We will also set the trade management mode with international trade as the core. We'll also set up a series of government management reform to focus on the license and other development. We'll also explore a batch of innovative initiatives for free trade accounts, and we have also launched the management mode of cross-border service trade negative list. According to the report, the free trade pilot zone has been the leading force of the high-level opening up, the pioneer of in-depth reform, and the demonstration for the high-quality development, and a pattern platform to serve national strategy. The second chapter of the report is the mechanism innovation chapter. The core of it is the free trade zone. With free trade innovation, we can have the exploration. With innovation, we can have the mechanism dividend. With mechanism innovation, we don't need the low base of the policies. We need to base on this industrial park. That is the concepts that we're all familiar with. And this time, the reform and open up that we promote is the key battle for us to enter into the field. It has shown the determination and courage to further open up by our CPC and the government. The report shows that in the past 10 years, the free trade pilot zone has cumulatively promoted 302 mechanism innovation results to the nation or particular region. Based on the subject of the promotion, these results include 7 batches of 167 reform pilot experience approved by the State Council, and the plenary conference officers have printed 4 batches of 61 best case studies, and also 74 reform experience published and promoted by the member states in plenary conference. Based on the relevant fields, amid 302 mechanism innovation results, we've had 85 projects of investment liberalization and facilitation, 76 trade facilitation, 31 financial openness and innovation, 34 whole process monitoring, and 34 industrial open up and development, and 40 factor resource management. And besides, through the attachment, it has made a complete review of the President Xi Jinping's work on the free trade pilot zones buildings indications and guidelines. And based on a series of major events of the 10th anniversary of the free trade pilot zone, it has made systematic compilation of the documents and the mechanisms' innovative results. The 20th report of the CPC proposed to implement this free trade pilot zone elevation strategy. On this opening ceremony ceremony of the last year's CIIE, President Xi Jinping emphasized that we need to leverage the platform role of the Free Trade Pilot Zone, from building a Free Trade Pilot Zone to implementing the strategy, from opening up the pilot zone to opening up a comprehensive trial platform. It has undertaken a grander mission, and in an era with major social transformation, we appeal to the practical exploration and theoretical breakthrough with the free trade pilot zone as the core. Now we also want to explore an open path that is compatible with China's modernization. As the high-end think tanks of the nation, we have to shoulder responsibility. We're willing to witness one decade after another decade of the free trade pilot zone, so that we could take down all the results of the free trade pilot zone and to facilitate its own high-quality growth and its future journey of all the hardships and the joint efforts. Once again, we will be launching a new era of the free trade pilot zone. Thank you so much.
感谢顾雪明院长
Thank you,
发布的报告。
Mr. Gu Xueming, for helping us launch the report. So here conclude the first session of today's event.
感谢杨司长。
Thank you so much, Yang. As our moderator, I'd like to thank all the remarkable remarks by all the guests. Then we'll be moving into the second section of today's event, that is promotion and panel discussion. So in such an aspect through videos, we would have in-depth discussion so that you could have an in-depth and comprehensive understanding about China's free trade pilot zone. So first of all, you will be seeing all the promotion in Fujian, Liaoning, 湖北、重庆、陕西 and Hainan pilot free trade zones. Let's take a look at the display here.
中国福建自贸试验区涵盖福州、厦门、平潭3个片区，围绕改革创新试验田、两岸经济合作示范区和海事沿线国家和地区开放合作新高地3大战略定位，全面推进改革创新对外开放。 实施自贸试验区提升战略。
8年多来，福建自贸试验区在全面深化改革上创新先行，累计推出创新举措622项，其中全国首创275项，对台120项，35项创新成果在全国复制推广，7项试点经验列入最佳实践案例。 在服务重大国家战略上探索先行，50多个领域率先对台开放，落地台商独资油脂加工企业、两岸合资全牌照证券公司等近30个台资首创项目，深度融入“一带一路”、中欧班列、丝路海运、丝路投资成为开放合作标志性工程，在推动高质量发展上引领先行。 建成全国最重要的一站式航空维修基地，第2大进口酒口岸，物联网、离岸贸易、文化出口等新业态蓬勃发展，在打造国际一流营商环境上示范先行，首创1照1码商事登记制度和工程建设5个1审批制度改革，推进数字自贸区建设。 创建海思中央法务区自贸先行区，全力打造服务型政府。在新征程上，福建自贸试验区将加快实施对接国际高标准推进制度型开放试点，引领建设两岸融合发展示范区，为奋力谱写中国式现代化福建新篇章贡献自贸力量。
尊敬的各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，大家好！非常高兴参加投资中国年自贸试验区专场投资推介活动。在此，我仅代表辽宁省商务厅、省自贸办介绍辽宁自贸试验区的发展情况。辽宁自贸试验区于2017年4月1日正式挂牌运行，实施范围120平方公里，涵盖了沈阳、大连、营口3个片区。 重点是打造提升东北老工业基地发展整体竞争力和对外开放水平的新引擎。经过6年的改革探索， 179项改革创新经验在全省复制推广，15项经验在全国复制推广。沈阳片区与宗保区陶仙园区、沈阳空港经济区3区合一，着力构建临空产业体系，全面构建空陆海网对外开放大通道，开通了8条国际全货机航线。宝马的全货机航线保障了零部件全球供应链的安全。海铁工转关模式正式开通。大连片区重点推进东北亚航运中心建设，涵盖了大连保税区、湾里综合保税区、大窑湾综合保税区3个海关特殊监管区，与世界上160多个国家的300多个港口通航。营口片区1小时车程覆盖了港口、高速公路、高速铁路和机场，是东北腹地便捷的出海通道，与全球50多个国家和地区的140多个港口通航。当前，在辽宁全面振兴新突破3年行动这一场新时代的辽沈战役中，辽宁自贸试验区正努力实现创新发展新突破。我真诚地邀请各位嘉宾到辽宁自贸试验区投资兴业，共谋发展。谢谢大家。
中国湖北自由贸易试验区产业特色鲜明，是唯一被国家定位为战略性新兴产业和高技术产业集聚区的自贸试验区。武汉片区集成电路、新兴显示器件、下一代信息网络、生物医药产业入选国家战略性新兴产业集群，数量居全国第一，集聚光电子信息企业1.6万家，年营业收入突破5000亿元。襄阳片区形成新能源汽车研发生产、检验检测、动力电池生产、电控系统制造等较为完整的产业链，获批国家级车联网先导区，正全力打造中国新能源汽车之都。宜昌片区拥有安琪酵母、仁孚药业等一批行业领军型国际化企业，成功引进宁德时代动力电池材料产业园等重大项目，正聚力打造长江经济带1000亿级产业集群。下一步，湖北自贸试验区将抢抓亚洲首个、全球第4个专业货运机场鄂州花卉机场投入运营的新机遇，联动武汉新港、汉新欧班列，做强铁水公空多式领域，高水平推动制度创新，为产业发展营造市场化、法治化、国际化营商环境，着力打造中国内陆开放新沿海。诚邀各界朋友、国内外工商界人士到湖北自贸试验区考察访问、投资兴业。
重庆自贸试验区肩负使命重托，勇立高水平开放的时代潮头。这里涌动着制度创新的滚滚春潮，率先开展陆路贸易规则探索，海关贸易便利化举措数量居全国前列，外资银行分行及代表处数量居西部第一，成立全国首家覆盖全域的专业化自贸区法院，营建一流营商环境，展示开放新面貌。这里回荡着高质量发展的蓬勃大潮。作为全国唯一兼具港口型、陆港型、空港型、生产服务型、商贸服务型5型国家物流枢纽的自贸试验区，2022年以全市1/1046的面积，贡献了全市近1/2的实际使用外资，近2/3的外贸进出口总额。围绕新一代电子信息制造业和智能网联新能源汽车，打造2大万亿级产业集群，书写开放新华章。这里激发着协同开放的跌宕高潮。
服务成渝地区双城经济圈建设，加快建设西部陆海新通道。川渝自贸试验区协同开放示范区成效显现，25个联动创新区协同发展，增强开放新势能。中国面向世界的开放之路正越走越宽。
面对开放大势，重庆将深入实施自贸试验区提升战略，抢抓新一轮高水平开放发展的重大机遇，在波澜壮阔的开放之路上披荆斩棘，破浪前行。
我们诚挚欢迎各界朋友奔向这一方充满生机和活力的投资新业沃土。
2017年4月，陕西自贸试验区揭牌运行以来，深入贯彻习近平总书记关于自贸试验区建设的重要指示和历次来陕考察重要讲话精神，以高水平开放为引领，以制度创新为核心，36项改革创新成果在全国复制推广，改革开放综合试验平台作用日益彰显。陕西着力扩大对内对外开放，加快畅通贸易物流通道，高质量建设中欧班列西安集结中心和国际航空枢纽。第5航权、保税航油、全国首个陆路起运港退税等利好政策加速落地，内陆开放引擎强劲有力。陕西持续深化改革创新，着力打造市场化、法治化、国际化营商环境，加快推进“一带一路”国际商事法律服务示范区建设，新增企业11.47万家，是设立前的4.4倍。电子信息、汽车制造、航空航天等优势产业实力雄厚，人工智能、新材料、无人机等战略新兴产业加快崛起。陕西深度融入共建“一带一路”大格局，聚焦丝路自贸、科创自贸、农业自贸建设，成立丝绸之路大学联盟，在海外设立12个离岸创新中心，高水平推进上合组织农业技术交流培训示范基地建设，“一带一路”经济合作和人文交流重要支点加快构建。新时代新征程，陕西将全面实施自由贸易试验区提升战略，为国家全面深化改革、扩大开放探索更多经验，贡献更大力量，打造陕西向西开放的亮丽名片。
Hainan is a dream island embracing the world with more openness. It is also a fertile ground gathering many talents. Hainan provides visa-free entry for 59 countries. The 15% personal income tax policy, Hainan is a now hotspot for a business investment. Encouraged industries are entitled to a 15% corporate income tax rate. Most raw and auxiliary materials, self-use production equipment, and means of transportation are zero tariff when imported to Hainan. Products processed in Hainan with an added value of over 30% are entitled to duty exemption when entering the Chinese mainland, allowing companies to truly enjoy sharing the benefits of the construction of the free trade port. Hainan is also paradise for consumption. The highest daily sales of Hainan's island departure duty-free has exceeded 700 million yuan. Buy globally, sell globally. The China International Consumer Products Expo has become a significant platform for brands worldwide to showcase and trade their consumer products. The Boao Lecheng pilot zone of international medical tourism allows the latest licensed drugs and devices around the world to be tried first for Chinese citizens without going abroad. The Lingshui Li'an International Education Innovation Pilot Zone has already introduced 22 well-known domestic and foreign universities where studying in Hainan can be equivalent to studying abroad. In April 2022, General Secretary Xi Jinping visited Hainan, pointing out a brand new blueprint for the development of the Hainan Free Trade Port. We would like to sincerely invite their friends all around the world to come to Hainan.
Okay, through the promotion videos just now, we have about the charm of each free trade zone and also their fruitful achievements. Next, let's have the panel discussion. In our first panel discussion, we will discuss about how the free trade zones promote the development of featured industries. It will be moderated by Cui Weijie, Vice President of CATEC of the Ministry of Commerce. Panelists include Tang Dajun, Deputy Director General of China, Parallel Free Trade Zone Affairs Office, General Manager of Yantai Jinhai Ocean Fishery, Guo Fuyuan, Secretary of the CPC Working Committee of Changsha Area, China Hunan Pilot Free Trade Zone, Qiu Xixing, Deputy Director General of Tianjin Dongjiang Comprehensive Integrated Zone Administration Li Guliang, and Deputy Secretary General of Zhoushan Municipal People's Government, Yu Wanjun. Welcome. Distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Now we enter the panel discussion for the promoting the development of featured industries. And, you know, it is the 10th anniversary of the free trade zone strategy, and within 10 years of development, we adhere to the institutional innovation and high-quality development, and we have advanced industrial agglomerations and have achieved remarkable results. And we have selected some representatives at the local level to share with us the innovative practices and experience from the free trade zones. We know that the biopharmaceutical is an important emerging industry that has strategic value, and the Jiangsu pilot free trade zone surrounds this industry has a lot of experience. Welcome the representative from Jiangsu. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to thank the Ministry and Commerce and the related departments for your support and guidance. I would also like to thank the other pilot free trade zones, as well as the dear colleagues for your support. And with this opportunity, I would like to share with you the situation of the Jiangsu Pilot Free Trade Zone. We've been established for 4 years, and we are piloting free trade zone, which has a real economy, innovation development, and industrial transformation pilot work. And we focus on industrial development with characteristics with special industries such as the biopharmaceuticals, and we have achieved remarkable achievements in terms of scale. In 2022, the biopharmaceutical reached about 5,000 billion RMB. The scale is top 1 in China. Half of it comes from 3 areas of our zone. Secondly, for the innovation capacity, in 2022, the newly approved medicals, 206 ones, and also we have the other projects like going on, which is ranked number 1, and also among the 32 pharmaceutical projects listed in the market, like 18 come from our zone, and also we have the high-end talents in such industries.
In terms of the industrial leader cultivation for the Jiangsu Free Trade Association, we have gathered nearly 4,000 biopharmaceutical companies for the upper stream and the lower stream, and 6 of them have been listed into the national pharmaceuticals top 100 companies. And for a lot of those companies, up until right now, they have the highest market value, that is the public companies, and also for the Suzhou Xingda company. And for the Xingda bio companies, they are one of the most listed companies. And also for the Jiangsu Free Trade Zone, they focus on the entire supply chain, and also we will also register all this medical insurance, and that is the pilot zone that we've had, and we would summarize that as the 1.0 version. So we are mainly doing the R&D for this negative-based list, and we also have the 2.0. Another is that we have the international certificate. We have a pilot area that is mainly just to facilitate the sharing of all those results that we see, and also we have the mutual certification of all those results, and we have this demonstrative role of all this free trade pilot zone. And starting from the 1.0, starting from 2019, we have taken the initiative through the filing. Then we could allow our medical equipment companies to import all this unregistered medical equipment here in the Chinese market. And up until right now, we have had successfully helped 23 medical innovative equipment companies and 78 research projects, and altogether and 767 batches to complete its own filing and recording. And for this year's CCIE and the 10th anniversary of the Free Trade Zone, we've all had all the actual exhibits, all the inhalers, and also the in vitro defibrillator for the targeted those psychiatric kids, and these are all profiteering. And for those medical equipment, they have been approved to get listed, and we all have this exhibition of those actual products. And another is that in the Suzhou area, we have taken the initiative in setting up the research for the research products, that is mainly just to take all this unregistered medical equipment, and we have expanded to the unregistered medication, including like for this chemical agents and the other materials. And through all this work, and it has supported all those 2 biopharmaceutical companies, and that is mainly for this R&D. That's how we're able to get approved by the customs. And for the global session, first to have those genetic testing company, that is quite important. And as for the next step, we will further expand our own usage. And then for the next step, we will implement our learning for the free trade pilot zone, and we will also know its important guidance. And we would like to know this free trade zone improvement strategy, so that we would like to know this mutual learning of all those 2 different countries. And we will continue to lead the trend, and we'll focus on the innovation empowerment and to step up the synergy of all those industries. And will facilitate the Jiangsu Free Trade Zone for this whole industrial chain's development with higher level opening up. We'd like to concentrate and attract the top quality factors and improve the supply chain's modernization level, so we can build a biopharmaceutical cluster with more impact in facilitating the China's modernization. We are taking a demonstrative role. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Tang, for the excellent sharing. So Mr. Tang, for the Jiangsu Free Trade Pilot Zone and the biomedicines opening up, he has summarized all the lessons and the practices. He has also shared with us some of the achievements he has made that will definitely bring more of those inspiration for us. So besides all this biopharmaceutical companies, developing marine economy is very important for us. So I would like to invite the Guo Fuyuan to answer a question for us. So because for the marine economy, it is also one of the key exhibitor for those of us who are setting the business here in developing the marine economy. We've had great achievements and we've also realized more breakthrough. So for this coastal fishery, it is one of the leading industries in setting the business. So I'd like to know, for you just to set up all this field, what is the biggest difficulty that you have encountered in this field? Then in the parallel free trade zone, how you're able to deal with all the problems that you have met. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Yantai Free Trade Parallel Zone and all this Shandong Ministry of Commerce to allow me to participate in this session. I have seen that you're all leaders from the Free Trade Parallel Zone, but I am a representative from the corporate level. So I am very honored to be here to share with you all. So for this deep sea marine cultivation, what kind of occupation that is. So for all the deep sea cultivation, this is something new all across the globe. It's different from the traditional cultivation because we see in the coastal area, we've seen lots of this cultivation practice that will mainly be in the inner bay. We've had this panel where we use the plastic that's mainly for the cultivation, and for that it is 70 kilometers from the major bay area, and the sea conditions are not as good. And for those of us to cultivate this fish, we've had 80-meter high of the sea waves, and it has a flow rate of 1.5 meters per second, and we have the highest 12-level magnitude of the typhoon. And in such a situation, why do we need to cultivate all these at the deep sea level? As President Xi Jinping proposed implementing all this general view and asking for the resources, asking for the food from the marine resource, President Xi Jinping once came to our own company. So like in the past and also right now, I am also under the Raffles shipping maker. A lot of you have heard of that. It is the largest marine equipment manufacturer across the globe, and we're mainly mining all the combustible ice. And very early on, we are also have the earliest project management and also the leader of that. And then from 2018 up until right now, we have proposed that here in Shandong, we need to build a modernized factory. We need to do the pallet work there. And also in the past, we need to do all this, the petroleum, all this equipment. And later on, we start to research the fisheries equipment. And now we are in the cultivation industry. So up until right now, we are implementing the President Xi Jinping's call, because starting from 2018, from the China's first document, it's also listed in a marine factory. Especially this year, President Xi Jinping, when they visited Zhanjiang, they proposed all this deep sea cultivation. They've had more of those potential, because actually in our own nation, we are a big country with the fishery industry. We have the largest sum of this cultivation. We have the highest amount of the overseas, but this year we've also had the largest import. So that's why actually right now in terms of the seafood area, we're in a deficit, and also because the trade is not as strong, we're in a very original mode. It's also mainly just to focus on the fishery cultivation. Our own country's climate conditions are not as good. From the north to the south, we've had the narrower coastal lines, and in the south we've had some typhoon, and then later on in the winter days we've also had a longer coastal lines. It has posed higher requirements for us. So if we could go to the other side of the sea, like if it's over 30 meters, if we're able to leverage that deep sea, then China's land can increase by 600,000 square meters. So this is how we have developed the oceans, and that is of significant importance. And this is also very meaningful for those of us to make a change. And we are also encountering some of the difficulties. We've had technical difficulties and also the mechanism difficulties. And because here in Yantai, we've had a free trade zone, and in terms of a lot of mechanisms, we've had 4 different examples here. I'd like to propose 4 different cases. So the first one is for our own equipment. We are in need of more of those licenses because that is not needed in the past here in China. And for all those of us in this fishery, we don't need to have all the certification. So later on, we need to just build all the shop with the wood, and we're able to cultivate all that the fish. But for this fishing boat, be it like the transportation is not managing that, or the ministry is not managing that well. And for this cultivation, there is no specific certification, as there's no example in the past. So we have had all the trials and all the explorations, and we've been applying that together with the free trade zone, and we have make the standard, the design standard more comprehensive, and we have the building system and the certification standard, and we have the follow-up management standard. And also here in Yantai, we are shouldering the responsibility, and we have confirmed all this local legislation, and in this aspect, we have formed across the nation. We have taken initiative for the pilot and demonstration work, and for all those people, we have gained the first Chinese certified certificate, and also we've had more of those fishing rights certificates. These are the benefits brought by the free trade zone. And the second is about the asset financing. For us to acquire the certificate, but to follow up, if we would like to further promote that, then we need to go with the financing. And if it's not enough for us to have the financing, we also need to have the asset securitization, like for the insurance, for the free trade zone, and all across the nation. We've had the Marine Insurance Innovation Center, and if that is the case for the marine cultivation, all those practices with high risk, you're able to get insurance. Then together with all the platforms, the power and the asset management, we would all have all the rights confirmation, and we have the insurance, and it's very important for our next steps promotion or replication. It can provide us with more of those asset management guarantee. And the third is about the customs clearance and the report for our own project. And another is for the report. We have just seen it's all the things that I knew. These are things that we have been doing here. We've had this largest cultivating ships that we've had this practice on our side. It hasn't really completely gone outside. But for this aspect here in Norway, we've had something that is very industrialized. We have the fresh fish, we have all the other equipment and machineries. But how we can report that to the customs? Can we enjoy tariff-free policy? We've encountered some difficulties, and the management committee, they have made the application, and with that application we have obtained the certification from the CDRC, and with that, for the local customs, we could have the import and export, and this has exempted the customs for us. One side has dealt with the technical problems with us, it has also lowered the costs, and the fourth one is together with the relevant vessels, the large-size vessels, and the past fisheries are of small scale. We've had a standardized base, and also these days, because of for how big that is, it's 70 meter times 70 meters. For this, it's 70,000 cubic meters, which is only needed 2 people to operate that, and also it has added some of this sonar radar, and it's fully automatic. And also for this foraging ship, it needs to include the shippings of all those other actual fish, and this fish tank, we don't need to have all that. So how is that possible? With the free trade pilot zone, we're able to secure the applications, and all across the globe we could get the only cultivation and transportation transportation vessel for the pallet work. And as for this, because in the past, and all this fishing boat below, that's for the cultivation or for the fish capture or for the fishing, we don't have a boat that is positioned as transportation and logistics. And also for this whole set of these vessels, when we look back from its own building, from its own design, and we've had this entire system, and all across the nation, we have piloted the first ever forward processing vessel, and also here in Asia, that is the only modernized vessel for the live fish. And through all the different cases, I'd like to share with you, through the free trade pilot zone, we need to have the trial exploration, and that has brought some concrete benefits to us. And also, you see, for these kind of people, we have invested, for these kind of projects, we have invested in 8 of that, and we'll continue our investment. And also, ever since April, the President Xi Jinping across the nation, all the coastal provinces, they have sped up the building of all these vessels. And for all this equipment, they have had more of those investment in input. And based on what I understand, we've had over 50 vessels of those. So for the Shandong province free trade policies, it has had provided more of those support for the following up design, construction, and also some other authorization of the rights. It has provided a reference plan.
And for this is a new pattern of development. It is a new organizing way, but I believe that with the spirit of the bilateral zone, we can overcome difficulties and explore the ways of development. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Guo, for sharing, and based on your real experience, the institutional innovation can bring a lot of advantages which can be reflected in a lot of industries. So now let's shift our attention to the manufacturing side. You know, the Hunan Changsha is the engineer and manufacturing base. And now let's have Qiu Qixing, Secretary of the CPC Working Committee of Changsha Area, China Hunan Pilot Free Trade Zone, to talk about the institutional innovation. Thank you, Mr. Cui. I would also like to thank the Ministry of Commerce for your support for Changsha, Hunan province. Changsha and Hunan is the hometown of Chairman Mao, and Changsha is a very popular city now, a trendy city now, and also we have the culture in terms of the tourism, and also it's hardcore versus like soft services and so on. And the turnover reached about 200 billion, and we rank number 1 for like 13 years straight, and together with the Tokyo and also one like American city, we are forming a very advanced development pattern. Like we have achieved remarkable results, and listed by MIIT, we are among those the first batches that are building the world-class industrial agglomeration. And we're talking about 3 aspects. First is about the manufacturing and production side through institutional renovation. The efficiency has greatly raised. We are doing the smart mind through supporting the micro and medium companies to help them to go to the market. We are now developing very well, and we are at the 3rd development stage actually, and the institutions and rules and so on are becoming more transparent. So the atmosphere is very helpful and favorable for companies to develop. And together with the government and also with the third-party providers, service providers and so on, the micro and medium companies can get involved in the intelligent manufacturing and the production. That is very important. Secondly, is the upgrading of content. So it's not just at the manufacturing and the production side. For the whole chain, including the suppliers, the warehouse, sales, and after-sales management, and so on, we have the remote intelligent control, which increase about the efficiency of the manufacturers. Within less than 10 years, we developed from 80 billion to 200 billion. And that is great results. Another thing, institutional innovation can protect technological innovation. So starting from the R&D, people and the government are paying attention to R&D. But before technology gets approved, some of the technology are like companies' own secrets. And sometimes before they get approved, they were infringed. There were infringement like behaviors and so on. We have a multi-center authorization processes and the relevant supporting services. Every month for technologies to be approved, there is the digital ID for that. And that digital ID can lead to the code of the companies, and that can protect the technologies of the companies. Now we have over 300 companies storing over 200 pieces of documents. And these greatly protect their outcomes before they apply for patent. Another thing, engineering machinery industry is also transforming. The traditional ones are transforming. We have the high higher ones and as well as the other areas. Together with the Belt and Road countries, we are now like taking rapid development pace, and it increased by like several times, such as over like several times. And for institutional renovation and innovation, how can we help companies to go offshore actively? For second-hand industry, accounting for about 40% in terms of the engineering machinery industry output, and we can see that we have improved a lot compared with the past. Say, previously there was no catalog at the finance ministry and other departments. There was no catalog for the second-hand machinery and so on. Secondly, there was no tax standards like how you detect. There was no standards, and there were no product standards for international community that is available, was available. And at some time there was no like pricing interface mechanism, like no one has standards regarding the price. So based on all of the difficulties, we have made breakthroughs respectively. Together with the Beijing Machinery Association, we are doing the industrial standard, and the Chinese industrial standard will become the world industrial standard in this aspect. And we have cultivated the evaluation and pricing mechanism for the second-hand machinery, and we have set up such teams and organizations and which is approved by the nation and by the NDRC as well. And like in Hainan, we also included the engineering equipment in the 6 key areas for project development, and it's important part in the catalog. And now we're also doing overcoming the breakthroughs of taxation. Previously, it was just under the radar or something. Like there was no clear standard, and there was tax avoidance and so on. But now it is transparent, and we have the evaluation and auditing process, and referring to the second-hand auto products. Last year, we made the breakthroughs, and now it reached about 20 countries, and we are aiming at doing the value at about 5 billion. And the machinery industrial chain has been connected along all the parts, and we are at the 2023 and 2025 key project list, and thank the Ministry of Commerce support for that, and also thank our colleagues for that. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chiu, for your wonderful sharing. Just now, Secretary Chiu talked about the manufacturing side, the R&D side, and the offshore side, and so on, about the high-quality development of the engineering and machinery industry, and which can be quite enlightening experience. It promotes the development of the manufacturing industry, and also it makes the service industry more dynamic. You know that Tianjin, they have the very special like financing and the leasing model, and it is now doing pioneering work. And it has become the number 2 like agglomeration in this aspect. Next, I would like to have Li Gongliang, Deputy Director General of Tianjin Dongjiang Comprehensive Bonded Zone Administration. I would like you to share with us the experience of Tianjin on that. Thank you. Thank you. Recently, the Tianjin Free Trade Zone has exerted its advantages in pioneering in terms of such related industries, and also the Dongjiang Comprehensive Bonded Zone has also played a leading role in this. In 2015, the Dongjiang had initiated over 40 kinds of business partners, and which have become the number 2 agglomeration for like airplanes. And now we have over 2,190 planes. And it has become the center which can be quite beneficial. And also with the support of Tianjin, as well as the related monitoring department, we constantly optimize the industrial chain, such as the customs monitoring. And we have the innovations in the systems of customs, and through the cross-area surveillance and so on, and monitoring system, we have the regional resources accumulation rapidly. In terms of the financing monitoring, with the guidance of the city's financial bureau, Dongjiang has set up the management financing bureau and reach the balance of the financing as well as the high-quality development. And in terms of the foreign exchange, we respond to the need for foreign exchange and have the offshore recording and registration, and also we have the advantage of white list. The asset exceeded about 700 billion, accounting for 80% of the country in some special aspect. And also we have the financing and the leasing court specialized, which improve the efficiency, and we have the online electric signature and multi-source documentation and so on. Last year, Dongjiang Leasing Court accepted over 6,000 cases, which provides great support legal-wise for the high-quality development. Another thing is about the service. The Dongjiang also organized the leasing and the financing promotion bureau, which provides the relevant services to companies and respond immediately for such needs, and have the divided departments functions and connection mechanism. And those are our practices in terms of the financing and leasing in the Tianjin Free Trade Zone, and welcome you all to visit Tianjin Free Trade Zone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Li.
So about all this financing industry, and has shared with us all the experience and the practice, and has provided us with some of the new thinkings and methodologies. So I would like to share is to focus on the entire supply chain, another successful case. So the next I would like to invite the Deputy Director General of Zhejiang Free Trade Policy of the Zhoushan Municipal People's Government to share their own experience and practice, and what are the achievements, and what is the next key step. So, Mr. Yu, the floor is yours. First of all, I'd like to thank the Free Trade Policy Zone's long-term support to Zhoushan's future development, and we have a chance to present our work. Here in 2017 March, the State Council has approved the Free Trade Zone. So at that time, we are in the Zhoushan area. The key zone is to focus on the commodities resource allocation, especially in oil and gas industry. So we could have the mechanism of development, and that is the trend. And in 2023, later on we find that we have had the whole supply chain system, and we've had this supportive document. And in the past 6 years, and for this provincial government, and we've had more than 40 orders policies, and we are also seeing we've had 269 mechanism innovation, and among which 32 has been promoted across the nation, and for the oil and gas industry. So today we would like to mainly promote 4 aspects to all. One is that in recent years we have set up a oil and gas major project. We have set up the first development for the oil and gas industry projects, and we've had the 400 billion tons for an annual progress, and we've also 320 billion RMB for this annual revenue, and we have set up a batch of the project for this crude oil and commodity oil, and for the storage, for the work, and for the piping of all those main technological infrastructure. And the second is that we have facilitating the market reform of the oil and gas industry, and we have had the crude oil import for its own standard. We're having the pilot work, and for the commodity oil, it's not that management, and we have also had a series of policies support. So up until right now, about all this crude oil and this and the whole industrial chain, we've had a very good guarantee of all that. And also in terms of the oil and gas, we have put forward a series of mechanism support. And also until right now, we have confirmed that for the oil and gas industry, cumulatively, we've had 12,700 of that. And in 2023, for an oil and gas trade, we have had 760 billion of that. Another is we have quickly facilitated the crude crude oil industry's development. And also you can see we have accumulated a set of those data. Before we had all the trade zone in 2023, we are having 1 million tons. So that was in the top area of all this harbor. And in 2022, we have just had the 6.02 million. And another is for the global port, we've had the customs service, so we could have the fourth of that. And later on, we have accounted for around 30%. So this time we are focusing on the companies, entities, access, and also up until right now, we have the foreign companies, state-owned companies. We've had multiple themes, and this is the approval certificate that we've had, or the series that we've had, that is connected to the entire supply chain. And also we have deepened all this work, and we've had all the customs services, and these are all realized in this aspect. Another is that we have realized in the oil and gas energy, we've had the tax incentive, especially we've had integrated development, we've had Shanghai's futures exchange support, and all those years we have launched this capacity development here in Zhoushan. We've had the crude oil price index, so we could say in this market area we're making our China's voice. So that is the case we have seen in the past several years, and in the future about this free trade zones requirements, mainly in 3 different aspects. One is that we will continue to deepen our work in the oil and gas industry, to deepen our own system, especially when we have the low carbon development. And in this mechanism, we're exploring some of this new trend. We're based on the President Xi Jinping's 10th anniversary guidance, as mainly to develop the entire supply chain from the oil and gas, and we can have the connectivity of the entire supply chain. We have planned and set up a new batch of new industries, and for the industry and oil based on the oil refinery. In the new material field, we could try our best to provide certain protection and a stronger contribution to our own national material industry. And thirdly is we'd like to leverage the role of our oil and gas industry. For the Zhoushan industry, we've had a feature of being labor intensive and enjoying good advantage for the mines and the ores industry. For the entire supply chain, this aspect, we can make our own part of exploration. So we have deeply felt that for the free trade export zone, it has greatly promoted our own system, and we've had more business opportunities in this field. And we sincerely hope all the entrepreneurs, all the friends to be present here in Zhoushan to provide us with the guidance, so that we can have win-win results. Thank you so much. So I'd like to thank Secretary General Yu for sharing us about the Zhoushan Municipal People's Government and how it has set up the entire chain surrounding the investment, and there's a series of work, and it has provided us with the whole industry innovation and all the successful experience. And the 5 of you have made excellent speeches, and here concludes. So once again, we'd like to thank all the 5 leaders' excellent speech, and all of your speeches have shown us to this greater picture through this vast landscape, and has helped us to better understand about the free trade zone, how we can facilitate the reform with opening up, how can we push forward the in-depth connectivity of the supply chain, so that we're able to know about our triad practice and how are the effective results that we have reaped. So here concludes section 2 on promotion and panel discussion, and once again I'd like to thank for all of your listening. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Cui Fu for moderating the session, and all the guest speakers for their excellent sharing. Thank you so much for bringing us with the front line practice and thinking. Thank you so much. And then we would like to go with the second round of the free trade zone promotion. You will be watching the videos for Guangxi, Hebei, Yunnan, Heilongjiang, Beijing, and Xinjiang pilot free trade zones. All these vivid videos. Let's take a look at the display.
尊敬的各位来宾、女士们、先生们，大家好。2019年8月， 广西自贸试验区获批设立，最大的优势是面向东盟，服务陆海新通道和沿边开放；最大的特色是跨境贸易、跨境金融、跨境物流、跨境旅游和跨境劳务合作。最大的机遇是服务“一带一路”和 RCEP 的实施。最大的潜力是构建面向东盟的跨境产业链、供应链。4年来，我们积极推动与东盟的规则、规制、管理、标准、商事、仲裁等制度型开放，全方位、多领域搭建强有力的政策支撑体系，构建串联东盟和全球便捷的跨境物流体系，打造服务国内国际双循环市场经营便利地核心区和面向东盟的跨境产业链、供应链的集聚区。当前，我们正全面推动中国东盟产业园区的建设战略部署，加快发展电子信息、绿色化工、装备制造等重点产业。相知无远近，万里尚为邻。我们将秉承与朋友交，言而有信，诚挚邀请各位朋友到广西自贸试验区投资兴业，共享广西自贸新商机，共建合作共赢新未来。
河北自贸试验区设立4年来，积极服务京津冀协同发展和雄安新区建设重大国家战略，围绕建设国际商贸物流重要枢纽、新型工业化基地、全球创新高地和开放发展的先行区，大力地推进制度创新，形成了一批面向全国推广的改革试点经验和最佳的实践案例，大力地推动开放发展，在新一代信息技术、生物医药、高端装备制造等重点产业领域，吸引了一批世界500强企业和跨国公司的战略投资项目，着力地建设开放型功能平台，推动药品进口口岸、大宗商品交易中心、大数据交易中心、国际邮件互换局等平台入驻。我们持续地优化营商环境，密集地出台财政奖励、人才引进、外事服务等70多项政策性文件，下放了396项管理权限，推出了179项京津冀自贸区同事同标的事项。截止到今年的8月底，河北自贸试验区新设立企业数量达到了存量企业的15.2倍。新征程上，我们将深入地贯彻落实习近平总书记的重要指示，加快地实施自贸试验区提升战略，勇做开拓进取、攻坚克难的先锋，为全国自贸试验区建设做出河北的贡献。河北自贸试验区积极地构建国际化、市场化、法治化的营商环境，为海内外科商投资兴业提供了广阔的舞台。我在云端向大家发出诚挚的邀请，欢迎大家到河北自贸试验区参观考察、投资合作。
云南自贸试验区辐射南亚、东南亚独特区位优势，突出沿边跨境特色，以制度创新为核心，立足为国家市制度、为云南谋发展，在五自由一有序方面大胆闯、大胆试、自主改，推出了一批深层次改革事项和一系列开放措施，为云南高质量跨越式发展提供了有力支撑。云南自贸试验区位于中国东盟自由贸易区大湄公河次区域泛珠三角经济圈3圈交汇点，是我国面向南亚、东南亚的重要门户，突出服务国家“一带一路”建设，首创蓝莓快线与“一带一路”国家共建创新平台和海外研发中心， 突出探索市场堵点、企业痛点、开放难点解决方案，率先推行劳动关系管理全程网办，突出对接国际高标准经贸规则，首创跨境电力交易模式，首推人民币对缅币兑换参考报价，突出区域联动协同，推动自贸试验区与各开放平台协同联动发展，推动全产业链创新发展，形成先进装备制造、生物医药、数字经济、跨境贸易等主导产业，一业一证、证照分离等投资便利化改革事项全面推开，两头在外保税维修贸易新业态等贸易便利化措施不断落地，中老铁路与中欧班列贯通衔接，全面推动面向印度洋国际陆海大通道建设，探索跨境劳务用工团进团出模式，以金融服务创新促进人民币跨境使用，开发边互通生物识别技术，实现跨境数据安全流动。我们诚挚邀请各位企业家朋友到云南自贸试验区考察投资，共享建设面向南亚、东南亚辐射中心新机遇。
黑龙江，国家重要商品粮生产基地，重型装备生产制造基地，重要能源及原材料基地，北方生态安全屏障，向北开放新高地。
新时代推动东北全面振兴和深度融入共建“一带一路”是黑龙江自贸试验区实施提升战略的历史机遇。我们将围绕产业转型升级和向北开放这两条主线，加大制度集成创新力度，稳步推进制度型开放，把黑龙江省的科创研发、高端制造、向北最前沿这三大优势，转化为自贸试验区高质量发展、高水平开放的新动能。着力发展428现代产业体系和跨境产业集群。
哈尔滨片区，黑龙江自贸试验区核心片区，地处亚欧国际货运大通道重要节点，拥有各类技术成果转化和研发机构200多家，23所高校和200余家高新技术企业，集聚了一大批以新一代信息技术、新能源、新材料为主的战略性新兴产业，打造深哈产业园对口合作样板。黑河片区依托中俄双子城地缘优势，中俄首座跨境公路大桥开通运行，天然气管线落户等有利契机，推动跨境中药材加工、能源资源利用、文旅等产业发展。绥芬河片区围绕百年口岸通道优势，依托综合保税区、沪市贸易区等开放平台，打造跨境木材加工、粮食、进口清洁能源利用等产业体系。中国黑龙江自由贸易试验区，期待与您携手同心，迈步新时代龙江振兴发展向北开放的新征程。
疆自贸试验区是在习近平总书记提出“一带一路”倡议10周年、中国自贸试验区建设10周年之际，党中央、国务院最新设立的自贸试验区，是西北延边省份中唯一的自贸试验区。新疆自贸试验区包括乌鲁木齐、喀什、霍尔果斯3个片区，分布在新疆的中南北3个区域。片区内共有4个口岸，涵盖了公路、铁路、航空运输3种类型。每个片区除口岸外，均设有综合保税区，叠加全疆已经开通的118条国际运输线路，23条中欧、中亚班列线路，33条国际运输航线，形成了向东连通国内东西部沿海与内陆，向西辐射中亚、南亚、西亚乃至欧洲的国际贸易物流通道的独特优势。新疆自贸试验区的战略定位是打造促进中西部地区高质量发展的示范样板，构建新疆融入国内国际双循环的重要枢纽，服务“一带一路”核心区建设，助力创建亚欧黄金通道和我国向西开放的桥头堡。我们将持续深化贸易、投资、金融服务领域创新，高标准、高质量建成营商环境优良、投资贸易便利、优势产业集聚、要素资源共享、管理协同高效、辐射带动作用突出的自贸试验区。当前，新疆正在着力打造油气生产加工、煤炭、煤电、煤化工、绿色矿业、粮油、棉花和纺织服装、绿色有机果蔬、优质畜产品、新能源、新材料等8大产业集群。自贸试验区的设立，为新疆构建以8大产业集群为支撑的现代化产业体系提供了强劲动力和黄金机遇。欢迎国内外广大投资者走进大美新疆，走进中国最年轻的自贸试验区，共享发展机遇，共创美好未来。
我们刚才又欣赏了一系列非常精彩的视频，我想从这些视频里，我们确实可以感觉到各地的自贸试验区他们的欣欣向荣和他们的蓬勃动力。好的，那接下来我们将要进行今天的第2场主题对话。在这一场，我们将要探讨自贸试验区如何打造一流的营商环境。那么本场讨论将由联合国贸发会议全球化和发展战略司经济事务官王大伟先生主持，有请王先生。对话的嘉宾是河南省商务厅副厅长王军先生，有请上台。四川自贸办专职副主任吴葛先生，宝马集团副总裁吴艳艳女士，有请。合肥市副市长赵明女士，有请。广东自贸试验区深圳前海蛇口片区管委会副主任袁富勇先生。
From China Guangdong Pilot Free Trade Zone.
好的，有请各位嘉宾入座。
Welcome. Please be seated. I will give the floor to you. Thank you. I'm very glad and honored to be here to moderate this panel. In the afternoon, we have listened to a lot of speakers sharing their insights regarding the construction of the pilot free trade zones. We also have released our own research paper, and we're very glad we can listen to speakers. 4 of them are from the local free trade zones, and the other one is from the company side. Our topic for this panel discussion is about creating the first-class business environment, no matter it's in the opening up and also the business environment improvement and so on. This is quite essential. My first question, I would like to ask the Deputy Director General of Henan Provincial Department of Commerce, Wang Jun. We know that Henan is like inside the land, is not near the shore and not near the sea and so on. It's an inland province. And for inland transport, the transportation can like be an obstacle if it's inland, and the commodities cost may be higher than other places by 30 to 40%. Then how Henan Provincial Department, like Henan, makes such a progress in overcoming the difficulty? Thank you, and also thank the Ministry of Commerce for your long-term guidance and support for us. And also, I would like to thank this opportunity for me to share my opinion with all my colleagues. As the moderator just said, Henan is an inland province. Still, we are making progresses for opening up. We follow President Xi's instructions about the logistics pathway channel construction. And in recent years, with the pilot free trade zones, as well as the innovation and so on, we are making this as a driver of the development of the economy through improving the environment and improving the connectivity. We construct the logistics and transport center. I will talk detailedly in several aspects. First, we make full use of the transport and navigation resources, and we broaden the navigation scope, and we have done very well in the Luxembourg and also the US, UPS, and other organizations have made like cooperation with us. We have the full flight routes set, and last year the relevant output accounting for 39% of the whole commodity and product output, and which rank the number 5 in the country and also top 40 in the world. In terms of the monitoring innovation, Zhengzhou Customs, in terms of the land port, relying on the single window of international trade, pioneers about the self-chosen pattern for products and commodities, that is based on the categories of the products from the 18 ways of menus for customs clearance and so on. Companies can choose the ways on their own, thus increasing the efficiency by about 20%. And we also have the port and region connection mechanism, that is customs as well as airports, improve the work efficiency altogether. And we have the product and goods packaging and the safety inspection and review and so on. It's a one-time inspection, so no repeated processes. And the clearance efficiency increased by 60% and labor costs reduced by 50%. Another thing is about digital empowerment. And Henan pioneered in the air transport logistics platform. We have the electrical platform based with the centers of airport, connect airline planes, customs, and suppliers and other parts. And for all the chain, we have the paperless process. That is, we do not need any paper for all the processes. So that reduces the repeated processing, the reporting, and the filing, and they solve the pain points. Now, they over 200 airport air transport companies all use such a system without any paper, so that is very helpful for improving the informatization of the air transport. Another thing about this is in the standards improvement. Henan pioneered in the multi-provincial standards proposing mechanism, and we have explored the air transport, vehicle transport, and it has a soft structure. You can open the vehicle directly, and so the goods can be put in for the whole package. You do not need to divide the goods or open up the package and so on. That greatly increases the efficiency, and it's the whole batch, like loading and unloading. So with the land and air transport, the efficiency raised by 2 times, and also labor costs reduced significantly.
And also, we have launched a series of the logistical projects in Budapest. We've had the overseas warehouse, and we have the China European Railway, we have the digital railway, the cold chain railway, etc. These are the innovations that we are seeing. Ever since this year, we have also had all the different environments. We have newly introduced 4 logistics and warehousing flight company. We have added 9 different flight lines, and also here in Zhengzhou for the international logistical flight lines. And for this entire, we have 44, including this regional and international flights. There are over 30 of that. And also for the China-European trade, for this export and import port, we've had 1 more. So now that we have 9 ports here in Henan province and 21 railways to reach all the stops. And also this year, accumulatively, we have exceeded over 10,000 that cases. This year, the performance relatively good. For its own increased performance, it has increased by over 60%. It is ranking the 3rd across the globe. And also for Henan, there's 1 more feature, is that for all this, for us just to get back, we could see that is the total volume, and that is over 80 of that. And also, I think it's the market situation is a lot higher. And another is that we're seeing, so we're having the high standard planning, and for Zhengzhou, we've had all the port, and we are setting up a new international port here. And of course, I think in this Middle East, that is the only concentration center of the China-European flight lines. We think it is not that easy for us to fit all that. We need to build a new harbor port here to invest 5 million, and through all the measures in the future for all this maritime port and for the airport, they could all be developing very well to facilitate Henan province to integrate the transportation, logistics. The capacity can be further enhanced. That's all I need to share here. Thank you so much. So I'd really like to thank for your comprehensive introduction. So you have shared with us Henan province in terms of infrastructure and the soft environment contribution, and also you mentioned about those exquisite techniques, how we could expand the connectivity. It is quite excellent sharing of the experience. And then for the next question, I'd like to raise to the Mr. Wu Ge about the Deputy Director General of Sichuan Parallel Free Trade Zone Affairs Office. So we know we want to have optimized business environment in a free trade parallel zone surrounding on the main topic in the past 10 years, targeting at strengthening the legislation, deepening the reform and information. It has long been an important direction of work. And I'd like to ask Mr. Wu to introduce to us for Sichuan for us to build a legal environment and to spark the vitality of the market subject. What are the good practices? All right, thank you so much, the moderator. Also, I'd like to thank all the Minister of Commerce for you to arrange this forum and all the friends from different fields of this commerce so that we could have such an in-depth communication. And for Sichuan, we have deeply felt that as the free trade further implemented and further deepened, the legal system has provided a better guarantee for the free trade. Why do we mention something like this? That's because in the past we have done lots of this innovation. We need to have all the legal practice to really fixate it. So on the one hand, it is that we could implement some of the tasks for those people in the free trade work. They are able to follow some of the rules and regulations. And the second is that through all the laws, not through the measures, we have fixated all that. Then for all the companies and for the public, they could remain determined and they could strengthen their confidence in us. It plays a very important role. So for our free trade zone, we have one in mind what President Xi Jinping has mentioned. Legislation means the best legal environment, and also I think in this it has shared with us more about all these laws and regulations. It has focused more on the comprehensive development of the laws, and I'd like to answer from two different aspects. One is we should try our best at the current stage. We need to set a relatively comprehensive laws and regulation system. So for example, in 2018 in Sichuan province, we have approved by the free trade parallel zone, and we have all these sessions. Another is that we have the foreign trade investment, and at the same time, we are also seeing for the management, for the policies, for the custody works, and for all the services, they all had all those we've had, for those people who are in the free trade, were able to follow the rules and the regulations. Another is that we have launched the rules, the management rules on the free trade parallel zone, and we've had some specific work that while we have implemented all the specific work, and besides all these investors, how we're able to make a very honorable commitment. And also in 2022, that by the end of the last year, we've had the Sichuan province to optimize the business environment, and I think for this business environment, it has made more detailed guidance on the free trade development. We've had a commitment, and also for the next step, we've had a framework here. Another is that we have a set of the rules and regulations for our free trade parallel zone, and it has had a very important facilitation work. So just now in the Sichuan province, we have the Tianfu new district regulations. There are more work to be done. Like the free trade zone, there's a part of it that's a very important part of it that's in the Tianfu new district. It's 90 square meters, and with this regulation, so for this part of this free trade work, it could have better facilitation role. And I think for those laws and regulations for the building of it, that's a very important foundation. And the second aspect is that we should focus on building a comprehensive legal service platform, and also we've had some relevant adjustment. We've had the legal support across different aspects. We've had such a practice so that we could implement all the different policies. I will take an example. So for example, in Sichuan province, in 2019, we've had audits. We have named it with the province, and we've had this integrated legal area. We call it as the Tianfu Central Legal Zone. and we have taken it as the free trade zone for all the legal organization, for the legal service organization, all those high-end legal service entities for communication exchange. We have integrated all in it. It is not just, although we call it as the Tianfu Central Legal Entity, it is not just for the Tianfu area. It is actually serving the entire free trade zone. So in this aspect, we could also see it is the first to be named by the province. We have this free trade zone court, we have the free trade zone prosecution court, and also for intellectual property right, we have the court, and we have facilitated the pre-high-end court, and also we've had the Chengdu trial zone. For all those different parts, these are the laws and regulation system that we see that is the specific display, and these are more specific work. And another step with all these technologies, and as it has been funded, it's not just about the daily work, it's about the very important innovation part. So for example, in the Tianfu new area for the court, we've had all those new courts, and it has funded a way for us to solve all these bilateral resolvement mechanisms. It has been listed into the court system. It's mainly to serve the legal system, and at the same time, in the Tianfu New District, we have the prosecution area, and we have had all these rules and regulations. It's mainly just to analyze different mechanisms. So you can see we've had lots of statistics, and we've had a fixed amount of that, and it has made a 2021 nationwide legal and compliance system. As for the smart building, it's mainly just to serve the free trade area. It has been made one of the top cases. And also we have the intellectual property smart courts, and we have prioritized the courts very rapid supervision mechanism. It's a very important innovation. And also for us, we could have the supervision mechanism, and it has all gained the promotion across the nation. Another is that we all know, so here in the dual city economic zone, it has been deployed by the central side. It is also the main guidance by the government, and we take all that together, and we have set up the legal and compliance synergy innovation reform system. And I think we're also thinking how we better serve the free trade area. And another step from the innovation aspect, we will see what are the work that we do, and we'll also see what are the solutions that we have seen here. And another is all these rules and regulations, and there are a lot of these legal adjustment institutions, and for the China's regional arbitration court, and for the Chengdu arbitration center, and the Belt and Road, the business arbitration center, and the Belt and Road foreign law, for us to know more about the center. And then for all those institutions, they, at a certain extent, at a certain level, they could all play a role here. That is mainly for the regulators. Another is that we have set up the base level and the grassroots level for the free trade foreign investor. We could provide them with certain help. These are the service institutes that we're seeing, and we have set up the first ever mechanisms. It is mainly to serve the foreign investor, and we've had this ATP. This is to like for the Silk and Road initiative for those foreign investors. It is mainly just to provide the legal services. And here in Chengdu, we're also seeing how it can be upgraded to 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and it could provide all this well-round and 24/7 services. And another is that for those foreign investors, and these are the ones that we've had here. So this is the first time we have introduced we have had all this legal system that we have connected with each other. It has served as a guarantee, and with all those multi-layer measures and for all those free trade zones, we have basically set up as a one-stop solution for the top investors. For all those laws, it can serve as a guarantee, especially you see for these days here in the Tianfu New District, we are now introducing a Singaporean arbitration court, and I think that is quite interesting. So it has fully shown that for all this legal regulations for the free trade, it has been serving as a more guarantee role for the protection of work. It is me personally facilitating all this work, and for me to do all this, because for the Singapore Arbitration Organization here in the Sichuan province, we've had the main departments. So I won't mention his name, but I think you will get it. I think for this management, they basically support the role, but they've had different opinions whether to prove it or not, because we know for a lot of innovative measures saying that you're able to do this, but whether we can do it or not, in the end, there's some space for the future discussion. That is the entire process, whether we're able to do this or not. Then at this time point, like we have just mentioned, here in Sichuan province, we've had the Tianfu New District regulations. It has been staged. So for all the laws and regulations department here in Sichuan province, so they mentioned that for this Tianfu New District, there's a regulation saying that you could act on your own, we should just leave it. So it's not just limiting you, it's actually delegating all the power to you. And also for the Tianfu New District, now that we've had all the regulations from the Tianfu New District, we're saying that, all right, I have this self-proprietary rights, I can decide on my own. So like for this, it's not something that we're able to deliver on very easily, but we don't really see it takes much of the effort to complete that, to deliver on this. So I think for the enthusiasm and the passion for the reform and all the innovative measures, we've had the support of all those measures. So we believe that's how we're able to deliver on all the work, and that can be particularly important. All right, that's all I need to share. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Wu, for the lively sharing. So you have shared with us from the regional legislation to facilitating the legislature reform, arbitration, all this coordination, various different kinds of the legal services. And we talk about this kind of legal environment. It can improve our individual expectation. It can let us to have more confidence in setting up our own business. And then, so let's move on with the next one.
We have shared the insight about the policy-wise. Now let's change the perspective to the corporate perspective. Let's invite the third speaker about the client's experience sharing. Then let's have the Vice President of BMW Group, Ms. Wu Yanyan, to talk about in Beijing Free Trade Zone. How do you make achievements in terms of optimizing the talent processes and so on, and the services? Thank you. Thank you. I'm very glad to be here as representative for foreign investing company to participate in today's sharing. I want to first brief you on the BMW Group. It is an auto company. In 1994, we had the representative office in Beijing, entered the Chinese market, and as a German auto company, we started our business in China for more than 30 years, and we are an active player in this, and we are also getting benefits from the environment. And of course, the Singapore headquarters at the APEC area at that time managed the business, and every year it's sold several hundred units. But now the Chinese market has become the top one market, accounting for 1/3 of the sales. The first 3 quarters sales in China reached 600,000 units. And as a company with 100 years history, we are facing the transforming period for becoming more electric, becoming more digital and intelligent. We have taken a lot of measures regarding these aspects, and if you are available, please visit our booth at 2.1. We can show you our demonstration in the electric car, in the hydrogen fuel car, and in the hybrid car model, and so on. We can display the technologies to you. I hope you can visit our booth. As a company rooted in the Chinese market with foreign investments, our achievements in the past 30 years are inseparable from the good business environment of China. We have felt that the Chinese government, from the central level to the local level, is making great efforts in improving the business environment. Our headquarters in China is in Beijing, and our employees in Beijing can enjoy the benefits in terms of attracting the talents policies. And then for BMW in China, we have about 30,000 employees in the nation, and we have the professionals coming from over 39 countries, and also in Beijing we have a lot of local talents. Therefore, we'd like to give thanks and express our gratitude towards the support for Beijing's government for the talent support, and the Beijing for BMW has supported the talent attraction. And you know that settling in Beijing and have a Beijing hukou is very difficult, but through the favorable policies of the talent attraction, we successfully helped BMW talents to have Beijing hukou and settle down in Beijing, and thus focusing on their job, and which have promoted the business in China for BMW. Except for the talent attraction policies, when foreign experts come to China to work, Beijing has also provided support, like the customs processes shortening, and also the other favorable policies. And for those top management who can meet the needs, can enjoy the green channel for the green card application, and that is very important in our talent attraction. And recently, Beijing also released a series of measures regarding the services and policies. For example, offline, for foreign talents, Beijing has set up one-stop talent service center platform, and online it is bilingual with the app service. It can provide one-stop integrated service for foreign talents and foreign experts. And you know that as an employee coming from overseas, when he or she comes to Beijing, the living approval as well as the work approval are needed. And now those two approving processes were greatly shorted in time-wise. The time needed is just 40% of the previous one. When we attract and hire talents from overseas, Beijing also provides support. It has the qualification recognition catalog, and which are quite satisfied, and which can be convenient for us to recruit overseas talents. Moreover, Beijing has become the first pilot free trade zone to interfacing with the international high-end standards. It has fully implemented some convenience measures for short-term and also the other term foreign management levels to come to China to work. And we also look forward to more cooperation and communication with the relevant departments and to reflect the difficulties during operation. And we have communicated on the difficulties, and we have seen that the different measures and policies are in the process targeting those difficulties. And Beijing has a series of talent policies which can be quite helpful for us to further our business in China. And BMW will continue to foot in China and take China as its home and enlarge our investment. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wu, for your sharing. You introduced from the BMW perspective about the investment in and business development in Beijing. You cover local talents and international talents aspects. Beijing has provided convenience for attracting those talents. Our next question, I want to ask Ms. Zhang Ming, Vice Mayor of Hefei Municipal People's Government. I'm very glad to raise a question to you because I am a person, my hometown is in Anhui, so I've visited Hefei for many times. And technology innovation is a very important advantage of Hefei. We have the scientific university and Anhui University and other universities. They all have, and Anhui have high-end facilities and research advantages. And we know that the Hefei carries the mission of constructing the comprehensive industry innovation center. And so based on the technological innovation, how do you speed up the transfer of technology? Thank you. Thank you for giving me such a good question. I would also like to thank the Ministry of Commerce and also thank the Department of Pilot Free Trade Zone and the Free Trade Port to give me such an opportunity, and thank you for your support. And after the 18th National Congress, President Xi visited the Hefei twice. And he praised that the Hefei is a very good place for cultivating the talents. And he also encouraged us to prioritize innovation in the process of reaching leap-forward development. The Anhui Free Trade Zone has established for 3 years, and we focus on technological innovation, and we also focus on the virtuous cycle of the technological innovation as well as the finance. And we have taken a lot of measures and delivered good results, and letting the experimental results transferred into the market of appliances. And speed up the process to make contribution to the real economy. So my sharing is about scientific innovation, industry, and finance. And for those three parts, how to reach virtuous cycle, and how to have institutional innovation, and how to build up good business environment. in terms of technology innovation, there are a lot of problems faced here. And Hefei grasp the key processes for technological innovation that includes how to transfer the technological results and how to incubate the technological companies and how to get the companies get listed and so on. And we are task-oriented. And in terms of transferring the technology, we have found that a lot of the universities and R&D centers and institutions, they have very good capacity in innovation. And how to make those technological results by them to go into the market during the process. There are a lot of difficulties. We need to empower and then transfer and then let the relevant parties have benefits. So we have constructed such a process system, and we can allow the people at the R&D center and universities can have the right of the technology and can better integrate the technology with business and investment and encourage the researchers to involve in the process more. And we see that the transfer efficiency raised by 15 times. Then we also see that a lot of startups, technological ones, do not have the capacity for asset accumulation. So we propose the idea of new research organization. Through this organization, we incubate such startups and help solve the asset problems. And for those transferring problems, such as if it's transferred slowly or cannot be transferred and so on, or there is lack of asset and so on, we will provide support. And we have already 800 billion investment in this and incubated over 100 companies. We have made those companies grow larger. For technological companies, the development cycle is actually not long. It can develop really fast. When it gets listed, the documents provided can be difficult to prepare. In terms of the innovation capacity, the credit, and so on, there is not so many real factors to measure all the evidence. So we have the certification and documents prepared to break the barriers and shorten the period of companies to get listed and increase the efficiency.
So we think by connecting all these key aspects, actually for the scientific innovation field, it has given us a strong impetus. And also, like we mentioned about this industry innovation, so it focuses on the industrial development. We have to be quick, we have to be flexible. That's how we could gain a competitive advantage in the market. So one step, we need to gain quick access for the key development here in Hefei, for the integrated circuit, for the new display industry. We've had lots of this raw materials and equipment. We need to have this overseas equipment and also throughout this whole process, because in Hefei we've had integrated development in the Yangtze Delta region under the generous support of the customs. We have explored and implemented integrated systems of the Yangtze Delta region. And we are using it to certify the entire process. It has greatly lowered and decreased the time to import all the materials and equipment, and has increased its logistics cost. For this industry development, it has realized a strong underpinning role. Another is that we need to cultivate more talents. We know for the Volkswagen Germany, for the global headquarters R&D center and the sales of the new energy vehicle, we put that all in Hefei. And also we are aware that we need to have for us to have a major project, we need to have more of the talents. So taking the high efficiency of Hefei as the carrier, together with the vocational training of Germany, we've had this dual training mechanism, so that for all this application talent, through all this joint cooperation, we can quickly satisfy the company's needs and the corporate development needs. And for the first batch of this engineers, like for the Volkswagen New Energy factory for the backbone session, at the same time, we're also doing the very quick implementation of that work, because we know for the scientific innovative company with this incubation, they need to get landed very quickly. Another is that we are also saying for all this environmental protection or the certificate, it will take a very long process. And we have also considered for the scientific companies their own features. We take innovation as the core competitiveness. It is not a traditional scale-oriented manufacturing company. So that's why together with all the relevant departments, we have researched all this work, and we have formed a process that can avoid all this supervision, and we have cut down the time of wait. And the downsides of the time, it has facilitated the implementation of the project with a series of mechanism or innovation. It is problem-oriented. It can help us to solve all these key issues within the industry. For the industry's innovation, it has given much of the help so that our industry can develop at a faster pace. These days at Hefei, we've had more of those high-tech industry. It has accounted for over 60%. Its contribution to our own industry, it has been more than 80%. And it is also mainly through all this free trade zone. It has given us a strong empowerment. And lastly, I would like to mention is about financial innovation, because we all know for scientific-oriented SMEs, one of the biggest issues we have encountered is that it's hard to finance. It's slow to finance. For the difficulties in financing, for the scientific companies, its strengths lies in intellectual property. So how can we transform intellectual property into its core values? How we can get the certification by the financial institution, it can gain the loan support. I think for this aspect, we have chosen intellectual property rights as a comprehensive as the company for this over-evaluation. It has given it some of the certification and evaluation for the values, so that we can see the joint intervention of the banks and through the intellectual property rights, a series of financial products. That's how we could support all the financial institutions to develop more quickly. And when we talk about the difficulties of financing, and financing can be very expensive, then how can we lower the cost? Together with all the other financial institutions, we have cooperated with them together here in a free trade zone. We have built a series of financial products, including the credit-based products, the free trade zone, and also together with the part as a zone. That's how we could gain the strategies. And another is through this diverse free trade product that has given our companies more of those choices. Only there will be one product that can be more suitable in terms of the financing. Together with the bank companies, we have done one thing, and we've had a one-stop financial companies. And in this aspect, we've had all this innovative products, and we will see, including all these other loan companies and all the other insurance, they would have all these products that could be suitable to the financial institutions. At the same time, at the platform, on the service platform, it could all have a very convenient method for us to acquire the service. Then the companies can gain financial service support in a faster and more effective way through the scientific innovations, virtual circulation. That's how we can bring a strong impetus to development. And throughout the whole process, we've had all this pioneering mechanism support. So we think for all the past 3 years in here in Hefei for the free trade zone, it has entered into the 2.0 version. And for the free trade zone, for us to improve its own strategy, that's how we could grab the core competitiveness. We can take innovation as the core driver, how we could take the new technology development as the core driver. We need to keep realizing its strategic development, and we could realize Hefei's strategic development for the Scientific and Innovation Center, and we need to build a series of industrial innovation, a series of technological innovation for more of those companies and more of those scientific researchers in this field. They're able to have their own business. They could realize their own dreams. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the excellent sharing. So especially about building the scientific research and for the industry, for the talent, and for this virtuous sharing, because for our own event, we've all had this particular structure that is the main work that we're doing. We have always been advocating one concept, that is in developing countries for the trade investment or for this entire industry, or what is for this virtual circulation, how we're able to push forward the structural upgrade. So I think this coincides with that strategy. Thank you so much, Mr. Zhao. And for the last one, so I'm not saying that it's not last but not least. So we'd like to invite the Qianhai Shekou head for the Free Trade Policy Zone, Yuan Fuyong, Deputy Director General of the Shenzhen Qianhai Shekou Area Administration of Guangdong Parallel Free Trade Zone. And we know that this has undertaken the financial industry's development as the opening of a window, and how it has undertaken a very important mission. So Mr. Yuan, can please share with us for the Qianhai Shekou area how it has facilitated the opening up and how it could help us to realize more of those achievements. Thank you so much, moderator, for the excellent sharing, and also like to thank the Ministry of Commerce for your long-term support, and for the free trade area for the Shekou administration's long-term support and care. I'd also like to thank for you to present me with such a valuable opportunity. So for us to facilitate the Qianhai's opening up and the development. So this is personally deployed by the President Xi Jinping. It is a major demonstration policy ever since the 18th CPC Congress, and we have participated in Qianhai for 3 times. And you can see we have seized all this trend. We also know more about this future, especially on December the 27th and all the way until today. For us to know about this stop, we know about Shenzhen, and then the first stop that will come in Shenzhen will be at the Qianhai, and has delivered an important speech. So we are taking as Hong Kong as an example to face to the world. So we need to start from the scratch on a white paper. We need to work hard on it, so we could paint the best of it. And also we need to build the core engine with the most condensed work. And also on October the 24th, it's the second time for President Xi Jinping to come here to Qianhai. And also you can see the former beaches have now turned into a land of these buildings and has become a new centers. And President Xi Jinping has shown high recognition for it, saying that it has been developing that quickly. And after we see all this, President Xi Jinping highly recognizes it. So the President Xi Jinping has said one inspiring to it. They're saying that the Qianhai mode is very practical. And 2020 on October the 14th, as the we had the 14th anniversary, and this historical event has been held, and President Xi Jinping has physically participated in it and delivered a speech, and has mentioned that we need to deepen the reform and opening up of Qianhai. So on the September the 6th, 2020, it has issued a high-level document saying that we need to deepen the reform opening up. And in this plan, it has given Qianhai a more detailed positioning. We need to build it as the Greater Bay Area, and we also need to build a high-standard port. And here of the Qianhai Shekou, so on April the 7th, it has had its own license over the past 8 years, based on the Ministry of Commerce requirements, based on the Director General's guidance. We are implementing the policy to facilitate the free trade area. The President Xi Jinping mentioned that for the innovation in facilitating business environment, we've done our own part of work. I'd like to share some of the practice that we have done. One is we have persevered in reform and opening up. So Qianhai's own mission is for reform and opening up. So centering on the investment facilitation, trade facilitation, financial investment, and opening up, and for the supervision during and after the whole process, for the legal environment building, and for the talent management, and all those 8 different aspects, all the different 8 different sectors, we have done the mechanism innovation, and we have explored and formed what President Xi Jinping has mentioned about this Qianhai mode. And ever since it has been built, we have put forward the results. We've had 805 of that, and a lot of them are being repeated and replicated across the nation. That is to optimize the legal environment. So just now, the leaders from the Sichuan province have mentioned that for us to build a legal environment, there are all the excellent practices, and we highly agree with it. We recognize that Qianhai has the best business environment in this industry. And in terms of that, we have done much of the work, especially we have set up a Shengang International Compliance Zone, and we have introduced all these legal services, altogether 6 different categories. We've had 185 different legal entities. Especially at the People's Supreme Court, they have been landed here in Qianhai, and for Shenzhen, it has also been landed here in Qianhai. So it means that in terms of rules and regulation, arbitration, for all those 2 different sessions here in Qianhai, we're able to form our own pattern. This is a quite unique positioning here in Qianhai, and we have also staged the Free Trade Pilot Zone regulations. For these 2 sets of regulations, they have certified that for the Qianhai enterprises, for the foreign-related fields, that is mainly doing the contract signing, the supervision, the arbitration, and the 14 or the joint law firms. Some of them have transformed their base to Qianhai, and also we're about to land its own base here. And another is that for this legal environment, we are also seeing it has been a signature of this entire process. And thirdly, for this cross-border convenient business, we have done some of the work for the overseas customs on September the 7th last year here in Qianhai, as we have released this project for the 1st anniversary. And we have drafted all this Qianhai for the reform and opening up. We've had 18th regulation, and in all those 18th regulation for facilitating the deep port policy connectivity and the cross-border element facilitation, and for us to build the customs-based service, we've had 18 reform regulations, especially for us to connect all the routes and the ports and the harbors. We have also released the input good. We've had all this supervision, we've had the certification in an integrated way. And then here in Qianhai, Zhongbao district, we have also taken the initiative in setting up the system. And MCC Qianhai Central Warehousing, a series of facilitation measures so that we can facilitate the trade development of the Qianhai. And in 2022, it has realized 250 billion RMB versus export and import value. It has increased by 48.8%. And fourth, and expanding the opening up of the finance, Qianhai has done much of exploration for finance. We could say it is an advantageous industry here in Qianhai. So that's mainly just to connect Hong Kong's trade center. That's mainly to connect the entire industry in terms of the finance. So for the People's Bank of China, and together with regulatory bodies and for the government, they have launched a 30 policies within the industry. It has resulted in more of those responses. And for all those measures, these have been landed. And we have realized all the services for this exchange purchase. And for those of us to add to the credit, we could see they have been having a series of the preferential policies to Qianhai. These have been realized. And also we've had the Deep Harbor Financial Center. We've introduced HSBC and also the Credit Suisse and the other top international investors. 320 have been landed in Qianhai's financial center. So you can see our financial industry is developing very quickly.
And also in terms of releasing favorable policies, Qianhai has made remarkable results. We have a series of favorable policies. The Ministry of Finance as well as the Tax Administration have given the 15% of corporate income tax favor for the different key areas of industries for Qianhai. And we also in Qianhai have the high-end talent tax favor by about 15%. And those favorable policies greatly promote the development of Qianhai, and also with the finance measures, 13 measures and 18 measures by the customs administration and the relevant departments have all released the relevant policies. And we ourselves also released the 20 measures regarding the trade and logistics and service. And we will also have new measures for the AI and other areas to promote the competitiveness of Qianhai and to improve the business environment. And this is the work done by Qianhai. And my short report on the achievements of Qianhai. I also sincerely welcome you all to visit Qianhai and have joined efforts with us for a better future. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yuan, for your wonderful sharing. Opening up of finance is important for developing countries, and it is a difficult task to be done. We see that the Qianhai Free Trade Zone has made a lot of pioneering efforts. And at last, let's give a final round of applause for the wonderful sharing of the 5 speakers. This ends the part for this panel discussion. Thank you, Mr. Wang, and thank you all the panelists. Thank you. I would also like to thank all the speakers today for sharing your insight. And I would also like to thank everyone sitting here for paying attention to the construction of the pilot free trade zones in China. And thus ends the Investment in China Year special promotional event in pilot free trade zones. Thank you for your attention.